When car camping, you can bring a lot of things into camp that you normally wouldn't bring if you're backpacking or walking in. Here are 5 items that you may not have considered, or the type of items to consider when you're car camping. We all bring camp chairs. Usually it's the fold-up ones that slide in the little sleeve. These are more durable. This is a rocking chair. We also have a chair that has an adjustable back. These are a little bit more bulky, but much more comfortable if you're going to spend a lot of time in front of the campfire, or if you have a wall tent, you can take these inside the wall tent during a rainstorm and have relaxation there instead of having to crawl in a little dome tent. Very comfortable. These are $100 a piece roughly at Cabela's, but well worth it. And then you can always take them and put them on your porch, patio, or deck if you're not using them at the campsite. So very well worth taking these. Fold up real nice, slide between the back and front seat. Tables. Now you may think, well, we've got a picnic table here. Why do you need additional tables? Well, you can use tables for a variety of different things. We've got a Coleman aluminum table that's about $36 from Amazon. None of these things are sponsored. I've paid for all of them myself. A $36 aluminum table that folds down to nothing, that can hold 100 pounds. This is a Cabela's Bass Pro kind of a table that goes next to the campfire. You can put your cups in there or your plate there. Folds down to near nothing. This one's like $14. So a couple of varieties, so you don't have to always sit at the picnic table to eat. You can move around the campsite wherever you want. Another thing that you may not consider is a kettle. You want to boil water, you want to have clean water for sanitation or for tea or coffee. Get yourself a tea kettle. Boils water in a few minutes over the campfire. Works really, really well. A couple of dollars, and then $14, $20, something on Amazon. Something else is a hatchet. If you're going to a state campsite, you can't cut down the wood, but you can buy the wood and you can split it in smaller pieces if you need to. So a nice hatchet will work well, and as well as you've got a mallet here if you're wanting to use it to pounding tent stakes or other stakes that you have for different items around your camp. Another thing in which you may not consider is a portable toilet. If you go to a state campsite, then you've got Volt toilets or community toilets, but having this is a Flush and Go. It's a 3220 portable toilet, about $119 at our farm store. It's got a capacity, it's got 2 levels. It's got a base here where the waste is kept, and then the top where it's a flush mechanism. Well worth it than having to kind of plan out your bathroom trips, whether a couple of feet down the road or a couple of 100 yards. It's real convenient. We have a tent that goes over it right next to the camp, right next to the tent. So it works very well for this. Maybe a little gross for you, but boy, the convenience of getting up in the middle of the night or any time and just going right there and not having to deal with anything or going in a great distance. And if you go to a hip camp or on your own property camping, this is a good advantage to have as well, instead of trying to find a bush or a log to sit on to relieve yourself. And with the toilet, once we dispose of the waste at the bathrooms on the campsite, then we put it back in the box. I take it home and sanitize it, and then it's ready for the next camping trip. So one additional item is a camp grate, cooking grate for your camp fire pit. You may think, well, we've already got one when you go to a state park. Yes, but you don't know how good they are. Sometimes they're not good at all. Bring your own camp cooking grate. Folds up, slides in a little sleeve. Ours we got for about $60 at Cabela's. Well worth it. And then you can boil tea on it, you can cook anything on it, you know what's been cooked on it. And a sub thing that you may want to consider based on where you're camping is bear spray. If you're in an area where predators are known or are warned about, a good can of bear spray, it's about $60, but it's well worth it than being confronted by a bear and not having, or a coyote or a fox or a wolf, and not having some deterrent to try to repel them. You can also get a bear horn as well. So we don't have to deal with that where we camp. We don't have to deal with that where we camp. The biggest concern we have is raccoons that may come into the camp in the middle of the night. So 6 things that you may want to consider that you don't consider, or changing the type of item that you have that you're bringing to make your camping experience a little more enjoyable.